May I please have your attention? May I please have your attention, please?
It's Theme Park Thursday Live with Dillos Diz. Featuring Frank. And Jen.
Ready when you are, CB. Do I start in Canada or Mexico?
We didn't do Animal
Are
Kingdom.
we really AK haters?
From New York, Dillos Diz Live, starring Frank and Jen Dillo. This is Mr. Snidillo in studio along with music by Matt Harvey, inviting you to join the Dillos and their guests while they tangent and wax nostalgic. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Frank and Jen.
This is Theme Park Thursday Live with Dillos Diz. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank. And for the next 30 minutes, we're going to cover 3 topics or subjects along with some tangents that we have not yet discussed on the Theme Park Thursday podcast. We had Tom and Michelle of the Hyperion Adventures podcast on. That podcast dropped today in your favorite podcatcher.
Yes.
So make sure you check that out.
A
Good
positive
evening.
podcatcher.
A positive podcatcher.
Yeah.
Whatever your most positive podcatcher is. I have some things to discuss because it's the holidays happen and it's a new year, so we're trying to get we're ahead of the game and recording our podcasts.
I don't know. It's weird.
So we're trying to get back on track now with the lives.
Yeah.
Like tonight happened because I was like, oh, there's time.
Right.
And it can happen. But there's some things about the StreamYard.
Sure.
And I'm not saying we're complaining about the StreamYard, but we've been doing it for months. So now when you want to go live, right, it has this little thing that says plus intro video, as if you can add in your intro video.
Oh.
And I've seen this a couple of times now.
Yeah.
Have I added the intro video?
No.
So that's 1. 2 is we have so many great intro videos.
Yeah.
Courtesy of Snidillo Studios.
Sure.
With contributions from our good friend Matt Harvey.
Yeah.
That I don't know what to pick sometimes.
Yeah. So you play all of them.
I want to play all of them.
Yeah.
I want to play all of them.
Yeah.
But tonight, then back in 2021, I think as the song goes, may I have your attention, please?
Uh-huh.
I accidentally hit that one first.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I'm already off.
Sure.
And then I had debated whether to do Theme Park Thursday Live's intro before the traditional Dillos Diz Tonight Show with Johnny Carson intro. And I was like, let me go the other way first to see what happens. And I immediately hated my decision. That's just what goes through my brain in the first 45 seconds of this recording.
All right. Listen, well, you know what? Since we're talking about what goes on in our brains while we record things, let me just tell you, yesterday we were recording with a special guest for next week's episode. Are we? No spoilers.
No.
And I realized I was saying the word lovely a lot and I was annoying myself. And I realized it at some point, and I know, and I'm going to have to listen to it when I edit, that towards the end I went to say, that's awesome. That would be awesome. But these are the things going on in my brain going, stop saying lovely. It's so annoying. You've said it like 3 times already.
Yeah, and in the editing game, for a little inside baseball here at Theme Park Thursday with Dillos Diz, we're off and running. We're going to totally keep our 30-minute time limit. The first 5 years, I edited the podcast. Yeah. And then, almost 2 years now, the Jen has edited the podcast. I like, we edit differently, right? But at the same time, I'm like, I never want to go back to editing again. It's really my point because I hear so many things and I'm just like, oh, I'm so annoyed at myself.
Oh, you
But
hear things from you.
yeah, but I don't want to go back. I don't want to edit anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because most of the time, I mean, it depends on what it is, but at this point, unless there's like glitching happening, if there's a really long pause, if there's a really oh, we got so jumbled with our words, I'm not doing much editing. I'm keeping the flow. I think it's also because of the podcasts I'm listening to at this point, and they're like, most of the podcasts I'm listening to are show rewatches.
Right.
These are all actors. These are all people, and they're just letting it. And I'm like, why are we concerned with what we're doing?
Yeah, and to say that we have never been one to be worried about the sound quality or the we've always said listening to our podcast is like being on a landline telephone. That's what we want. As if I picked up my landline telephone in Orlando, Florida, and called Jen on Long Island, New York, and had to pay the long distance for it because it was the mid 1990s.
In the mid 90s, 1-800 collect.
Yeah,
calling cards. Yeah. No, and that's true too. And that's another thing I hear now when I'm listening to these podcasts. Like you could tell those that have good microphones and those that do not. And it doesn't matter. Like everyone's just doing it regardless. Doesn't matter.
Which doesn't matter is more iconic. Both of these references nobody will understand. Maybe. So we had a host at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Long Island during New York Islanders hockey games. I think she still does it from time to time. I feel like we see her pop up. I don't know.
When's the last time you went to a hockey game?
I don't know. I don't know.
10 years ago, she was still kind of doing it every once in a while.
So she would present, she was trying to sell you on something or whatever, a promotion that was coming up. She would say, it could be A or B. It doesn't matter. And it just became part of Jen and I's verbiage. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But Jen, in Orlando, Florida, both of us lived. We loved the talk radio, surprise. And the Phillips File, which was on from 3 to 7 for the longest time until 2018 or so. I think the late 2018. But Moira used to be on with Jim Phillips, and she used to be like, it doesn't matter all the time. And so those two sit in my brain. Like I said, if anyone gets those references, drop us a line.
Yeah, no, that is true. I think when we say it, though, I'm always Nassau Coliseum. Jeff was saying it's been 10 years. I don't know how it's probably been more than 10 years for me since I have been at a hockey game, which is no, it absolutely has because the 10-year-old is 10. And so I definitely have not been since he has been born. So it's been more than that.
I think it's 10 years this year for me. I think I went to an Islanders Ranger game in 2015 when the Coliseum was going to close, whatever was going to happen.
Right.
And that was the last hockey game I went to there, even though they then left and went back. And I probably went to I don't know. Were they playing some games at Barclays already? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, because we did take the 10-year-old when he was like 1 to Nassau Coliseum in his jersey, in his Islanders jersey, just to be there and take some pics or whatever and look
for the content.
For the content, obviously, 10 years ago. For the 10-year-old content. We'll drop that in our one channel Discord, some of that content. Val was also saying that our friend Maz was saying that at work they tell her to leave ums in so it sounds less rehearsed or scripted. There we go. And I do leave a lot of ums unless it's like a and it's like just the long line when you're editing of just silence and then into another I'm like, I'll keep that one, but not this one.
All right. We have 3 topics or subjects to discuss here that we have not discussed on the Theme Park Thursday podcast. Happy Theme Park Thursday, everyone. Jen, I did not share I shared one, I think, with Jen. So it's a surprise for everything. Obviously. Topic number 1. Oscar.
We should do that as a movie rewatch.
Which Oscar. Oh no, that 100% has to be one. I think.
Should that be my first movie as the Forever 44?
Yeah, you are 1 year away as of this coming Monday. Don't forget to say happy birthday to Jen on Monday.
Feel free to forget.
But the Forever 44 Fedora Club returns 1 year from this very January for Jen's 44. I mean, I like that we kind of went away from it for a while, and now we're back. We can announce that it'll be back next year. We don't have to worry about should we bring that back? No, we'll just bring it back when you turn 44. Here it is next year.
I mean, listen, if I'm taking that over, I'm going to have the same lineup of people, and we're watching You've Got Mail, and we're watching Sleepless in Seattle, and I'm putting all my movies up there.
We'll come back to that as part of this Oscar conversation. Okay. Topic number 2. The pot rock shakeup, and Jen's like, "What is this?" This is actually some breaking news that happened earlier today.
Extra breaking news.
Turn that kid around.
It's always good when we get the breaking news in there. But earlier today, Ken Potrock, the current president of Disneyland, he must have heard I was going to Disneyland in February.
Obviously.
He's shifting to a new role as president of the Walt Disney Company Major Events Integration with Disney Signature Experiences and Shanghai Disney also getting new chiefs. He's not doing those two things. He's just moving to Walt Disney Company Major Events Integration. I can't say that word while I'm reading it. And but there's also other changes in the organization. So we'll just touch on that real quick since, we're going to talk about Oscar nominations probably longer than the rest. And then finally, 50 years and 1 week.
You're more than 50 years in 1 week.
Yes, it's true. I turned 50 in October. We had a whole glorious meetup surrounding it.
Sure did.
We may have our next 2 meetups planned.
They're basically done.
Stay tuned for more here on your Dillos YouTube channel. Space Mountain turned 50 on January 15th, so we'll reflect a little bit here in our 18 minutes remaining, where we're going to cover 3 topics or subject. Totally fine. Totally not turning into a supersized live stream here today.
No, not at all. Place your bets, everyone. Here's the thing. Last time we did Theme Park Thursday, which was a few weeks ago, last month. What is time? I don't think we told everyone to place their bets. We just went right into the topics. Right?
We did. We went in order last time because I was like, these are the things we actually. It had been a while. We were off our game.
Yeah. So place your bets, everyone. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Not in that order, or maybe that order. You tell us. And you can't. You guys, you vote when you first get in here. Those votes don't count.
They don't count. We don't allow them. It is now open for voting.
That's not right. The lines are open. Do they still do the lines are open on American Idol and Dancing with the Stars now that it's Disney Plus?
On Dancing with the Stars, they do the line. They do Chandler Bing. The lines are open.
But they also have the online voting. They don't just do the online voting?
I don't think they do the online. I think they do the lines are open. Am I not paying enough attention to these marathon Dancing?
You don't even know. You think everyone's getting their own phone number, and it's really you got to go online.
It's you could text. You text the number to the person you're voting
texting. For. Ryan
flip it and then A B B B.
Then you next tell it. Ryan 132, Val 132.
132s.
132.
Oscar. Here we are.
Oscar.
The Academy Award nominations were released today after some delays due to the events happening in Los Angeles. It got delayed a couple of times, but the nominations were finally released. I don't know if there's really any surprises per se, but I did want to touch on a couple of things. Of course, this Oscar headline here is because in my head, whenever I hear Oscar, I hear Billy Crystal going, Oscar, who will win?
Did you do that or did I do that when it came up on screen? I feel like I did it in my head and maybe you did it out loud. I don't know.
So, but earlier today, Jen, I shared with you, Meg Ryan teased a photo of Billy Crystal and herself sitting on a couch, and he's got the iconic sweater on.
Yeah.
and they're clearly older, but they're filming something. What is that something? We want to know.
Yeah. 2 things. 1, that iconic sweater has been made more iconic because of TikTok. I'm just going to say it. And you know what? Anyone who missed my TikTok rant because you're not in the one channel Discord at dillosdizresort.com, you missed quite a rant. Anyway, but that sweater I think is more iconic because of TikTok. People have discussed how that's their fashion, is that sweater, and reference him. But yeah, what are they doing? What is the reunion for? Expectations are Dilloed. That's it.
Dillo, I mean, right, you already mentioned one possibility, which would be the Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
I mentioned another possibility, which would be that Red Nose Clown Day thing.
Yeah.
Whatever
Red
Nose. Is it just called Red Nose Day?
I think so.
I'm trying to. They're not going to let me do anything here to help share that, but okay. So I want you to put your 3 movies in order here. When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh God! How dare you?
You've got mail.
Don't even. What?
Put those 3 movies in order. 1, 2, 3.
I will not. I will not.
You must.
I refuse. There is a friend of ours who will go back and forth with me all the time that You've Got Mail and Sleepless in Seattle is basically the same movie. And so there's a lot of arguing there. I will not put those 3 movies because I love them all so much. Tony Danza never called me for my Sleepless in Seattle trivia back in the day when he had a show so I could get my Disney Visa gift card. And I'm not over that. I'm not. No, I refuse. I mean, when Harry Met Sally, does contain our first dance song. So, that probably has a little bit of a leg up, but I can't rank them. No.
All right. I'm going to come back for a second because Lexi's asking questions I will never ask Jen in a million years.
I will never ask her. I'm Lexi, and maybe we can circle back in the Discord or something. I'm going to need you to be more specific
than Nicholas Sparks' books.
Correct. Are you discussing Nicholas Sparks or are we discussing like 50 Shades? There's differences, Lexi, and I'm going to need clarification.
on the spectrum of Nicholas Sparks to 50 Shades, where are we leaning?
We could discuss it later though, but Val is saying it's not even vaguely the same movie. Correct. Lexi, You've Got Mail, When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle. Interesting. Val saying You've Got Mail, When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle as well. They're able to rank them. I can't do it.
First of all, When Harry Met Sally is the superior movie to all 3. Like that is.
I know.
You can't. That is right up there with like Back to the Future as like a classic from beginning to end movie. There's no blips. There's no hiccups. It is flawless from beginning to end.
We watched it a few weeks ago. It's so good.
And I will say that both Sleepless in Seattle and You've Got Mail, there is a reverse Dilloing happening because I went into both of those movies pumped and left disappointed.
Oh, you didn't Dillo.
But since that time, You've Got Mail, I have definitely increased on.
Yeah.
And on so Sleepless in Seattle, like it's not that I'm not gonna watch it, but I definitely have watched it the least of those 3 movies. So I would put that at number 3. It's got the best soundtrack though. Maybe the Harry Connick Jr. soundtrack. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to say. Those soundtrack wise, it's close.
What about in the beginning of You've Got Mail? Dreams are nothing more than wish. I don't want to get cut off by YouTube. Yeah. What? Wait a second. Lexi saying no. Yummy magic wielders who ride dragons.
Is that a euphemism? Is that a double entendre? What is?
Lexi, we're gonna have to take this to the Discord. Ryan is saying books with Fabio on the cover, so
that's where my brain was.
There's a lot of discussions to be had in the Discord later. Maybe we'll have to bring in Steffers for some book talk discussions as well.
I hope people are tuning in for the first time, going, "What am I watching?"
We don't know. Welcome.
So Oscar nominations were released. I'm really, I'm still not happy all these years later about so many Best Picture nominations. Moving away from 5 was, to me, the worst thing in the world. But Jen, how many of these have you seen? Ready? I'm going to rattle them off real quick.
Oh,
Best
I can
Picture.
just tell you, but
Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked.
yes, one. When you said the Oscar nominations, I was like, let me look at these. Let me see what I'm going to talk about. One movie and anyone from that movie. That's all I'm talking about. How many have you seen?
One.
Oh.
But I will say that based on the Golden Globes, I will watch Emilia Perez. I hope I'm saying that right. And I will watch The Substance. Demi Moore got nominated for Best Actress. And so I'm curious by that. And I also like, and her name is going to escape me, but I think it's Margaret something, she was in the Tarantino movie with Brad Pitt that he won the Oscar for. Like, I think she's really great. And so I want to watch The Substance. And I know Dr. Val will come in with the names momentarily. But, a lot of this is, I want to talk about Wicked and its place in the world and its future place in the theme park Universal universe.
Sure.
What are we doing? Why aren't we already making announcements, Universal, for Wicked stuff? What's going on?
Why weren't they ahead of this and making it an epic portal?
Well, do we not we have these conversations over the years? Why is there only a small Indiana Jones bar open for the new movie Dial of Destiny is coming out? I mean, we learned our lesson there. Why, there's things that they get nervous about. Frozen. Oh, we're not gonna do anything, and then Frozen becomes the biggest thing in the world, and they're scrambling. They're scrambling for things in the parks. Yep. So we have seen the trend over years. They get nervous. They don't trust what's good quality and the right thing, and so we're left here. It's just we got this new park opening. You got the rumors about an England park opening. You got Rip It, Ride It, Rock It, Punch It, Sock It closing.
Bop it.
Make an announcement. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for, huh?
I'm waiting for that whole cast to be at 90s Con. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, are we going to 90s Con?
I don't know.
You still don't know? I gotta. It's your birthday on Monday, and I will buy you the ticket for your birthday. Just please say that we're going, and then we'll...
I mean, probably. Probably.
All right, but yeah,
we don't want announcements to happen, and then we don't have a ticket.
Which of these? I mean, you're never getting Reese Witherspoon there, but would you rather have? I know what you did last summer, cast at 90s Con, or would you rather have Cruel Intentions, like the trio?
You're not getting them. There's no way the three of them are coming.
The star of the morning show, movie star, Oscar winner, Reese Witherspoon at 90s Con? Come on.
Absolutely not. No. I mean, Scarlett Johansson is co-hosting the Today Show. I don't know when that was, but this week sometime. So,
oh, yeah.
And I was like, this is interesting. So I guess anything's possible. But no, I listen, I just want Freddie at a con. I'm going to need Freddie at a con. That will be my last con probably, but.
Yeah, once Freddie is at the con,
that's it.
Yeah. There's nothing else too much.
I mean, Cynthia and Ariana got supporting and Best Actress leading.
Which, I don't want to hear this nonsense either. That happens sometimes with, there's a second movie, so we'll give the accolades for the second movie rather than come on. No, come on. Do it for both, or if it turns out that way. But no one's better than Cynthia Erivo in that movie.
Yeah, that's true.
She is singing live while she's flipping upside down. Come on.
Correct. I've seen that clip 100 times now.
Nobody can do that. I'm serious when I say I know everyone, if people tune in and they don't get theme park news in the first 20 minutes of this thing, or maybe not watching anymore, but I will sit here forever and tell you that Wicked Part 1 is one of my top 10 movie experiences of all time.
I mean,
all time.
Yep.
Star Wars, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Wicked is right up there with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Raiders of the Lost Ark would be up there if not for the guys melting their faces at the end. And just
what?
Spoiler alert. Ryan, you do need to watch Wicked. I see you in the comments.
Absolutely. I love it.
I still need Lexi to follow up about the dragon riding people.
No, that we're taking that to the
that's a
Discord. It's going to to cause too many tangents here, and we've already caused 24 minutes of them.
All right, final question. Will you watch the Oscars because Conan is hosting? I know you're no, you don't think.
Probably not. We'll just watch the clips. We always forget like when stuff is on, and when is the Oscars on? What's the date?
I have no idea.
Okay. I mean, and I feel like we always forget. And plus the fact that, yes, I will be happy to see anything winning for Wicked, but because I see Inside Out 2 up there,
Yes.
which that's good. But like, I don't know enough. There have been some years where I see a few of the movies, and so I'm a little more invested, but catching the clips on the talk is probably fine.
March 2nd for the Academy Awards. March the 2nd. It's a Sunday, not a Monday, which I also have a problem with sometimes. The Oscars should be on a Monday.
That's it. I feel like all award shows are on a Sunday.
Well, now they are, but back in my day, Billy Crystal was singing "It's a Wonderful Night" for Oscar on Monday nights.
I love him so much.
He went to my community college, if you must know.
That's true.
That's
Facts. He's going to be at the alumni events with you, no?
Moving on. What are we doing? Number 3. Here we are, 26 minutes in. That
was a good recap of the Oscars.
90s rom-coms and
scary movies, and whether or not we're going to 90s Con, and go see Wicked, everybody. All right.
That's it. That's all you need to know about the Oscars. That Wicked is a top 10 movie experience of my life.
Uh-huh.
Full 50 years of it. Speaking of 50 years. Space Mountain. Oh, I guess I don't have to share the screen anymore. 50 years and 1 week. Space Mountain on January 15th turned 50. Space Mountain is 50. It likes to jolt and turn. I mean, if you don't get that Molly Shannon reference, welcome to our lives.
But we do get it, so we don't welcome. I find it problematic that so many recent guests of ours, and even including upcoming guests, no spoilers, have talked about the pain that the Matterhorn causes, because I'm just thinking how rough Space Mountain has felt in recent years, and I'm like, this seems like it's worse than that. And really?
Yeah, I mean, we were watching the Imagineering story, the first episode over the weekend, and it's a really great section about the Matterhorn in that episode. And one of the things I really noticed about it was I was like, oh, it just really seems like it should be in Rye Playland, and it seems like that kind of a old. Old school amusement park ride, but I am pumped to ride that. Space Mountain. Just to say, for you, Jen, you did not ride this ride until you were 16 years.
Correct.
Yeah,
after being dragged on.
You were dragged on at 16. It wasn't like at 16 I'm going on. No, dragged on by your friends.
Indeed.
In lieu of a sweet 16, you went to Walt Disney World with your 2 best friends.
Indeed. Yeah.
That year was, because now you're going to be 43. So
there is the castle was pink.
The castle was still pink. It was on the back end of being. The castle.
What was it? What year was it?
98.
8.
Yeah. Because the castle was pink from late 96.
Yeah.
To early 98. So. A long time ago. All right, YouTube. Where do you rank it these days? Top 5 attractions of all time? Where do you rank Space Mountain? As
this is basically a Dillo's Madness episode. I mean, it's up there for the nostalgia of it all. And for being, one of the Triple Mountain whammies and, all the things. Yeah. I would have to actually list it out. Maybe. Top 10, maybe top 5. Maybe.
And I think it's important that I feel like the allure of the attraction still, no, it's like an all-time classic for me, right? So, but going through the queue or even seeing it on the People Mover before, and then the queue, and then the attraction. It is a full, you gotta take all of it into the experience. Is a complete one. Then I think. But I, of course, wrote it when I was 6.
Same.
I don't know if I was dragged on and on. They were like, it's just like Star Wars. Come on.
Come on. You're going to be fine.
And Mama Dillo will talk about how the fingernails were in the wrists. Because that's when you used to sit in behind one another. Like you were in. And so here's the question, right? Because I'm looking forward to Space Mountain Disneyland. Tom on the podcast said that Space Mountain in Disneyland is better than Space Mountain in Disney World. So, right? He said that, or did he say it the other way around? Am I misremembering? Am I questioning myself? Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. So, I'll let people in those who have been to both parks comment, but the Space Mountain in Disneyland Paris. Is pretty good because you go on the outside, you come on the outside, you go in this little tube, and you launch through the tube into the top of the mountain,
right? Where
then it kind of turns into the rock and roller coaster, which is fine, but it's that I know you hate the launch. You hate launches.
I hate them. I think that's what got me on Tron too.
You're gonna have to go someday. I know you're not going on Velocicoaster. You're not. I get it. I understand.
No.
But you're gonna have to go on Hagrid's motorbike adventure someday.
Like, I mean, we can talk about it. We're already over time. I mean, at 27, I thought we might still be able to do it. I mean, how different are the two, or not?
What are you comparing?
Tron and Hagrid's.
I mean, Hagrid's doesn't have like the big inversion at the beginning. Hagrid's kind of like takes off like you're riding a motorcycle. You're not doing anything too crazy other than kind of like,
what is this? You're not selling me on this.
It's like you go up and then you come back down. You don't go upside down. You just like the road ends, but you're sloping upward and then you come backwards for a little bit.
I'm out.
Come on, just watch the video and come back and talk about it next week.
You just.
That's not you're.
But you're saying you slope up and then come back. I don't.
You're not being positive about it. I'm gonna get Tom and Michelle back on for you. Like, it's just you're like you're coming down and then you go and then you come back down this way. It's like doing Animal Kingdom when you come to the end of the track and then you go backwards.
Lexi saying, love that Jen is more open to running a half marathon than riding a roller coaster. It's
no
true.
Spoilers, Lexi.
Oh, yeah. No spoilers, Lexi. How will people know that that's a discussion we've had? I'll look at it.
Probably not. That Tron doesn't have an inversion. It's you come out at the beginning. I would call that an inversion, wouldn't you?
I don't call it anything because my eyes were closed.
That beginning when you come first out and you're like sloping. I guess not. Maybe you're not. You're just on the track higher.
I'm going to need to tangent about Tron for a moment and bring up TikTok once again. This is like time 3 or 4 in this conversation. So on the TikTok, people.
Thank God TikTok stuck around for you.
Don't make me rant again. People on the TikTok have are smuggling their phones onto Tron. Everyone, listen. I know you want the content. I want the content. Everybody wants content. Stop this. Someone is going to get hurt and everything gets ruined for everybody. What do you go ahead? I see you looking at comments.
Okay, hold on. I will check my meds because Wicked was one of the top 10 movie experiences of all time. Okay, maybe I don't understand what an inversion is. I thought like a corkscrew is an inversion, even though it's not like a loop-de-loop.
Loop-de-loop.
I thought an inversion was like anything. If you're on your side, I feel like that's an inversion.
No, Ryan, there's not.
Yeah. This is going on for 3 years now.
Okay. Anyway,
I cut you off. TikTok. You got the
Tron.
video. People got the content on Tron.
Are doing Defying Gravity, right? Back to Wicked, and they're like this, right? And they're doing this on Tron. First of all, I don't even know how you're hanging out on Tron, where you're just like, oh, look at me holding my phone. But it's just side note, everyone, please stop doing that, because they tell you not to take your phones, because if you drop them, someone gets killed below you. So please stop doing those things. It makes me very nervous. And also, once someone gets hurt or worse, everything's shut down for us. You're going to take away all the nice things, and this is why we can't have nice things. Okay, that's my rant for that. But Tron, I'm personally done with. I'm all set on that. Jeffers was saying maybe I have to try it where I'm sitting, because it's like a completely different ride then if I'm sitting in the back.
I don't think so.
Maybe the only way I could go back on. Maybe.
I mean, we're going to need that content, I think. Like of you sitting. Because apparently it doesn't go upside down. Because you know what I learned today? Inversions go upside down. I thought an inversion was a corkscrew. But everybody here.
Corkscrews go upside down. Lexi just said, okay. See, and that's the thing with the Rock and Roller Coaster. I was always like, oh, it's like a corkscrew. And then I think Lewis was the one to be like, yeah, that goes upside down. And I go, what do you mean? I always thought I don't know. Are you saying everyone doesn't have a special phone case with a wrist strap? No, they don't. They're literally just moving it between their hands. Sorry to call you all out, but that's what's happening. It's dangerous. What number are we
now on? I'll be looking at my dictionary for inversion when I get off of this live stream. Thanks so much, everybody. This is gonna be the quick one, I think. The pot rock shakeup here. Yeah. All right, so I'll bring up the article. I gotta share the screen.
Share it. Ryan laughing at 36 minutes and counting. A nice solid half hour, everybody.
A nice solid half hour tonight. Should have put it in supersize. I had a feeling we'd be off the rails today. All right, here we go. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
The Walt Disney Company is shaking up this is from the Hollywood Reporter, everyone. Shaking up the executive ranks in its experiences division, with Anaheim's Disneyland Resort set to get a new president as part of the changes. Disney says that Ken Potrock, the current president of Disneyland Resort, will move to a new corporate role as president of the Walt Disney Company Major Events Integration. The new role will see Potrock, who was named president of Disneyland in 2020, responsible for developing comprehensive cross-company plans to maximize the value of large-scale projects, entertainment, and tourism events ranging from 2028 LA Olympics to the 250th anniversary of the nation. Oh, brother. He'll continue to report to your friend and mine, Josh D'Amaro, while also reporting to ESPN and sports chairman Jimmy Pitaro. Disney had previously noted Disney had previously noted that Nevada the Paris Olympics ended up being a drag on Disneyland Paris last year as tourists traveled to the games rather than the park. I mean, I'm just going to leave it right there. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that you couldn't pull people over to your park or the parks for at least one day? I went to Paris 10 years ago, 11 years ago. I even convinced Mrs. Dillo to go to something is wrong if you cannot sell the park as part of like an offshoot thing for one day. Yeah. Who's on the grocery store or supermarket thing?
Can you scroll up too? Because I'm about to tangent. Can you scroll up? Oh, no, you can leave it right there, actually, because it's also on the side. You see, Janet Jackson's going to be in Vegas. No spoilers. We just had a discussion about whether or not Vegas needs to be a meetup. Maybe. Maybe we all go see Janet Jackson and we can do our dun, 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 dun.
I don't know if that was the right way. I think my arms are different.
I see people are talking about missing something so much. Can you clarify, Lexi? Ryan, can you clarify what that means? Hashtag blame Chapek. Probably. It's probably Chapek.
I mean, probably. Wait, Louis, no way. You're not going. If you went to the Olympics, you would do everything, and then you would go to Disneyland after. You would add on a day.
You would go to Disneyland. Ooh, the Dillos logo on the sphere. That would be amazing, Ryan. Hashtag goals. Have you seen the sphere in Vegas? Like a video, a picture.
I mean, I saw Andy Cohen dancing at the I know people who went to the Sphere, so I've heard about it. I mean, I got to go for the right concert. I want to go there for sure. If I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to the Sphere. Like, that's the reason to get me there.
Yeah. Everyone's missing the 3-topic recordings and the tangents. So obviously we have to be doing this more.
I mean, this is why we're rusty. We're doing there's more tangents than topics. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry for.
I couldn't tell you what the topics were this evening. So this guy's going. All right. Well, hopefully he does well.
That's all we need to. But that was I think in general, it's interesting that Disneyland's getting a new president before the 70th anniversary. One. I think it's interesting that obviously people were annoyed about what happened in Paris. I kind of remember there was some kind of marketing thing that either we discussed in this format. I remember Dr. J talking about it, and there was some kind of, I will have to go back and look at it. But I think in general, Disneyland, do your job.
Yeah.
Disneyland Paris, do your job.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see what I put in about the other day about what the kids said about the kids?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, about the training. Yeah.
Yes.
So, I know there's a whole thing going on over there. So I'm just saying, you do it before, you do it after. There's a day in the middle. Come on. Because people are not like, I'm going to the gymnastics and I'm going to track and field. No, you're not. You're not going to both those things.
Just to go back to Lewis saying, I don't think I could afford both. That's fair. Both are very expensive. Come on, Disney math. Still no way that you're going out there. You're going to Paris. You're going to be at Paris. You're going to see the Olympics. It's like, wow, this is very expensive. This is like way too much money. You're not going, all right, so we'll just do a day. We'll do a day at Disneyland. Yes, you are.
Totally.
It's Disney 100%. Math. It'll make sense. How often are you going to Paris? That's how you make it make sense.
Yeah, that is Paris math.
I mean,
it's the euro.
Yeah, when I worked at an airline, some people went to Paris almost every weekend and then just went for the weekend. So sure, some people do that. I'm just saying, for us who go to Disney World more than anywhere else, all of us, how often are you going there? Anyway,
you think you'll ever go to the Olympics?
Me?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
I've been to WrestleMania. I've worked on a Super Bowl. I've been to a World Series game.
Oh, so you feel like you have to go to the Olympics?
Eastern Conference Finals of the Belmont Stakes. And now that I said all those, I wasn't expecting to list so many things. Now I'm like, oh, maybe I do have to go to the Olympics.
I mean, I enjoy the Olympics. I don't think I've ever really thought about going, though.
No.
So it's not like if maybe they were here and I was given an opportunity, sure, maybe, but it's not something I think about. Maybe I should phrase it like that.
Yeah, I mean, and the Olympics on TV, I mean, I feel like that's, I don't know. I've been to the U.S. Open.
Yeah. Val, don't let Lewis fool you. We've actually discussed going to Disneyland Paris this year when he goes to the UK. Exactly. You always tack on the trips. This is what happens to us. We tack on trip. What if we just go here? We could also do this, and then we could also do this. Oh, yeah.
Lewis, you going to go to do the Harry Potter Studios tour when you're over in the UK? I want that because...
Val, are you going to Notting Hill?
Oh.
No,
put that in there. Just throw in Notting Hill as the fourth movie. Where does Notting Hill fit in the You've Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle, When Harry Met Sally, Notting Hill?
I'm going to tell you, I love Notting Hill. That would be last on my list.
Ooh.
I do love it, though. But I think it is more of you have a deeper love than I have. I have a love for it, but you have a deeper love. Now, all I want to do is be in here's the thing. So what time is it? 43 minutes in? I have not been to Europe at all, right? And so when I think about going, sure, do I want to see all the big landmarks and things? Yes. But do I also want to see all the fancy things? Yes. But do I also want to do things like tour the UK and find all my Love Actually and Notting Hill and Ted Lasso places? Yes. Do I want to go to Disneyland Paris? Yes. I have more of those things in my head than I do the Eiffel Tower. I may want to go there too.
I know this was Theme Park Thursday live, but it felt a little more like this.
Welcome everybody to Dillos Pop.
See, I love all the intros. I love all the intros.
Yeah, they're
all
also
videos.
They're good stuff.
Yeah. Is there anything else we need to address while we're here? Questions at this time from
if anyone has questions, please
Yeah.
drop them in the chat. Maybe we just have an open Q&A at this time.
for 16 minutes here. We'll just keep it to an hour.
Want to see Abbey Road Studios.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't name drop too often, but I once upon a time, many years ago, when I lived in Orlando, I did a show with Mike Aiello, who is very big in the Universal Studios, and so once in a while we'll go back and forth, make a comment to each other. And but when they were filming their nighttime spectacular, well, not filming, but they were putting together the nighttime spectacular. He had like a picture of them recording the soundtrack at Abbey Road Studios. And I was like, oh man, jealousy runs deep right there. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Me and Val always on the same page.
I would put it ahead of Sleepless in Seattle. I would run neck and neck with You Got Mail probably at this point. And like the times that I watch it on a JetBlue flight when I'm not watching Moneyball.
I was going to say, I feel like you've seen that more than probably any of the others, 100%. Except When Harry Met Sally, probably.
Let's be clear. We can't say this. Can we say this? But when I first moved back from Florida, and we were at Mom and Pop, there were a lot of movies. There were a lot of movies that were on repeat. We can't understand the legalities behind it, but like we would like American Pie was in a loop, and like Notting Hill was in a loop. There were a lot of 1999 movies.
Yeah,
in the early 2000s that were
Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, I think that's probably up there, right? Maybe Cruel Intentions is on that. No, Cruel Intentions was earlier. But so Notting Hill, I felt like I just watched a lot because it was on. I may put Notting Hill ahead of You've Got Mail.
Yeah. Jeffers asking Ted Lasso meetup tour 2030.
Oh my God.
Disneyland Paris Ted Lasso tour
with the jerseys on.
All right. Lock it in, Jeffers.
Make so many meetups, but that means then we're doing a podcast for like 12 years at that point. So we got to assess it at 10.
You're gonna scare everyone. Oh God.
All right. There's no questions at this time. That means we're going to take it over to the One Channel Discord.
We have to follow up about books and romantasy books.
Romancy.
Romantasy.
How did you say that?
Oh, you have to keep going until the kids take over. Let me tell you, the 10-year-old yesterday morning walks in and goes, when will I be on the podcast where like people see me? Like they see my face. And I go, that's a good question. It's not going to be for a while. And he goes, but like when? And I go, I don't know, maybe when you're a grown up. And he goes, what? Not even when I'm 13? I go, especially not when you're 13. No. Like, oh man. I was like, sorry.
The Eagles one win away from the Super Bowl. He's got both of his teams in conference champion. You got the league championship games with the Mets, and then you got
hey, Pete, make a decision. Stop it with all these tweets and the J's and the things and stop it.
Pete Alonso.
All the things today on the Twitter, because I have to scroll through and just find my Mets tweets and Disney tweets. Like, stop it. Okay. Oh, Mets. What? What do you mean?
No comment on it. But yeah, I feel like Theme Park Thursday is turning into Pete Thursdays too, because I feel like everyone gets worked up on a Thursday about Pete Alonso.
Yeah.
So and definitely to soon to be 9-year-old here is she's ready, but I don't know. We have to find a way to have like caricatures with their mics on. So
just create AI characters for them, and that like then they talk through the AI character.
Right. Yeah, that's what's coming.
I mean, I'm sure it would be really hard to figure out what they look like at this point.
What are we really doing?
10-year-old needs to do a spring training Q&A.
Oh.
I
think we'll do at least one game this year, like me and him. Well, you think we'll get at least one Mets game format? Or
yeah. Might have to create him a cartoon character.
Yeah.
What's the thing I'm thinking of? Was that what was that? Where you like could talk through? Maybe that's something I did at Think Place presented by IBM at Innoventions West. Was there like a character and like you could talk? I don't know.
That's not via voice. That wasn't what that was.
No, via voice was you talking to the computer and it types what you say. Delete that, scratch that, give it constantly. And now you can't even say a certain name by your phone or else it pops up. Yes. What do you want? What can I do for you?
Yeah. The only thing I ever did in Innoventions, I think, was I like the robot that sang.
Oh, yeah.
Feeling all right.
Featured on our YouTube channel.
And then there is that on the YouTube channel. And then when they had you had computers, and this was probably before you worked there. But were you there when the computers?
My favorite part of Innoventions was before you worked there.
No, because you said this other guy used to come in all the time when did it. It was the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire computer game. Yes.
Yep, it was around the tree in the exhibit, and that's where most adults would be when their children were lost. So you could probably find them there. Oh, hi, little child. Are you crying because you lost your mommy or daddy? Oh, here they are by the tree.
Bonus topic, because I just remembered what I wanted the third topic to be. But there's breaking news here in the last couple of minutes of this.
Play the breaking news. Play it.
30-minute, this 30-minute live stream we were supposed to do. It's not exactly breaking news, but breaking news for you because I just... Extra breaking news.
Turn that kid around.
Thank you, newsboy on Spaceship Earth. Jen, Communicore Hall has this lovely Broadway display with the lights. The people at Festival of the Arts are calling it the best Communicore Hall has looked since it opened. I'm not saying you're going to be there anytime soon. You going to walk through?
I'll walk through. And you inform me. I didn't see the stuff about the Broadway. I saw that there were Broadway things. I did not see that there were performances until you told me the past weekend. And then I looked it up, and up the day I'll be there. There's no performances. Okay. No content will be out that day.
It's an odd choice. But no Broadway content.
No. Yeah, but I'll walk through. You reminded me though, because we are so off the wall. Because as you're saying, Communicore Hall, all I'm doing in my head is going, "Wow, that's really impressive that you did that." And without the accent, you said something on the podcast with Tom and Michelle, and I can't remember what, but you put two words together that I was like, "Oh, he didn't even pause before doing that." That was impressive because those are two words that if you put them too close together,
I said it right.
You said it right, and I was like, "Oh, wow, you didn't even." All right.
Communicore Hall is very
Communicore Hall.
Drop a quarter in the water.
Lexi, was there a build your own coaster ride? I mean, that was in whatchamacallit?
In Communicore.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, Communicore, that would be East.
But there may have been in Innoventions East, there may have been something like that, and not in Innoventions West. There was a build your own robot in Innoventions East. The Segways were in Innoventions West. The Where's the Fire game was in Innoventions West. The House of the Future was in Innoventions West. I was there. Where are my pictures? Where's the pictures and video? Gotta go down that rabbit hole again. Hi, Rob. About 10. Okay, I think we're caught up.
Now, do you miss it? Do you miss the Innoventions? Do you think it should exist still? What do you really feel?
I mean, I think it should exist because I worked there, but I mean, when I worked there, there were times where I was like, "What are you all doing in here? What are you guys doing here?" Go out there. You're in Epcot. What are you doing in here? But I mean, I think it was I appreciate it for the places to escape the heat. It was good to, move some people around. But I don't know that I think there were so many changes that would be made. And I understand why there were with all the exhibits that also if people had been there and come back a few years later, the exhibit that they liked there might not even be there. Like there was a lot of turnover with stuff like that. So I don't know. I miss, they should have a Segway tour still, but whatever.
Right. All right. Well, that will wrap things up. I'm going to drop a bonus treat here in the comments since we've referenced our Long Island accents and I have referenced my community college. I'll drop this link in the comments right now. That if you go to it, you get like a 6 or 7 minute clip from my community college of Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. I play the father in the wedding scene where Shakespeare with a Long Island accent that I didn't know while I was speaking Shakespeare at the time. But now it's like, oof.
Shakespeare with a Long Island accent. That's a mix. Yeah.
It's special.
Yeah.
Special treat for everybody.
Yeah.
Here in the comments. But that will wrap things up. Don't forget that we have Tom and Michelle, a Hyperion Adventures podcast on our podcast, Theme Park Thursday with Dillos Diz this week. Don't forget that you can go to dillosdizresort.com to join our Patreon with memberships beginning as low as $1 per month. dillosdizresort.com. There is the join for free there.
Yep.
The join for free. There is a little Dillo's Madness participation from last year there. Is Dillo's Madness happening again this year?
I think you already said it was. You said it.
I really thought you were just about to say this was it. This was the madness right here.
It feels like it.
This hour.
Our madness just be us being mad, I think.
But thanks for all of you hanging out here this past hour. Until we all see each other again. Bye-bye.